Good evening. We acknowledge that the town of Kirkland Lake is located on the traditional territory of Algonquin peoples, including Beaver House First Nation and unceded territory of other Indigenous peoples. We recognize the presence of the Algonquin, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Cree, and Métis people in our community since time immemorial and honor their stewardship and care of these lands. We hereby affirm our continued commitment and responsibility to reconciliation. Call to order. Good evening, everyone. I hereby call this first public meeting of the evening, Thursday, April 4th, regarding the 2024 budget to order. Before we begin this evening, I want to address the following. This evening's public meeting is surrounding budget dollars for 2024 only. This meeting are not a public forum to comment on the recent decisions previously made by Town Council. There is no change in the museum's 2024 operating position for the town of Kirkland Lake. For members of the public wishing to express in writing concerns surrounding the decision of the divestiture of the Sir Harry Oaks Chateau, they may do as follows. Please bring attention to the Town of Kirkland Lake Council by email to clerk@tkl.ca, in person during regular business hours at Town Hall, 3 Kirkland Street West, by mail to P.O. Box 1757, 3 Kirkland Street West, Kirkland Lake, Ontario, P2N 3P4. By formal petition, please review the civic petition page on the town's website for additional information on processes. Item number 2, declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations from members at the table this evening? None noted, thank you. Item number 3, summary of reports. 3.1 2024 town budget public meeting. Jennifer Montoya, town clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and to everyone in the galley. In February 2024, and as ordinarily undertaken in his term of office, council directed that a budget schedule be adopted, which included the hosting of a public meeting for community input in relation to the 2024 budget. Members of the public were provided with the option of registering in advance of the meeting to be put in a priority to speak this evening, submit their comments in writing to the clerk's office to be read at this meeting, participate in person at Town Hall this evening, or participate electronically via Zoom. Subsequently, members of the public were provided with the opportunity to participate in a budget survey that circulated between February 7th and March 1st. Those results were included in the tabled budget package at the March 19th meeting. Copies of that report are available at the back of the room. Our deputy clerk, she's standing in the back of the room, can assist any members of the public with obtaining a copy. The proposed budget is also available in those packages and can be reviewed digitally at kirklandlake.ca by clicking on the box entitled 2024 budget. The budget has been made available to the public since March 15th. On March 27th, council received presentations from the town's administration providing general departmental overviews, rationales for increases and anomalies, challenges, and upcoming initiatives. These are also available by reviewing the March 27th meeting agenda or by visiting kirklandlake.ca/2024 budget. On April 2nd, council received the 2024 corporate business plan, which ties in the year's service deliverables vis-a-vis the tabled budget. There are a couple of copies printed and available at the back of the room this evening, and it's also available at kirklandlake.ca/2024. Between April 5th and April 9th, any questions posed by members of the public or council will be presented by the treasurer at the beginning of the April 9th meeting for transparency purposes. On April 9th and 11th, council will review the tabled budget vis-a-vis the survey, the presentations, receiving the comments and queries from public consultation this evening, and have the opportunity to ask further questions and clarification of administration and delivery. Therefore, to summarize the steps in this evening's meeting, comments received in writing by the clerk's office, if any, will be read first. Each participant will have an opportunity to provide their comments. Each participant can only speak once. Persons who have registered and or are joining electronically, if any, will be called to the podium or given the floor digitally in order of priority. The chair will then call for anyone in the council chambers to present their comments. Participants are encouraged to leave their email address or contact information with their deputy clerk. She's sitting at the back She's standing, so if any of you don't know who she is, she's gonna raise her hand. If they have any questions for the treasurer, once spoken, nothing prevents a participant to submit subsequent questions to the treasurer thereafter, either by email, telephone, or by attending the municipal office during regular business hours. The treasurer will also be responding to participants directly. Again, all responses to inquiries from members of the public and council will be presented in an open meeting of council on April 9th, 2024.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 4, confirmation of notice. Madam Clerk, how was the notice given?
Notice of the public meeting was given in accordance with the Town of Kirkland Lakes Notice Bylaw 2247 by publishing said notice on the town's website 14 days in advance as of February 6, 2024. Supplemental notice was published again on March 19th, coordinated with the municipal update through the town's various social media streams and within daily local radio broadcasts.
Thank you. Item number 5, correspondence received. Madam Clerk, were there any previous correspondence received by your department surrounding the 2024 budget?
On Mayor, I confirm there was no correspondence received by the clerk's office in relation to the 2024 budget.
Thank you. Item number 6, comments or questions from members of the public. Before I ask the clerk, I would like to remind members of council at this table that this is a public meeting and there is no discussion or debate with members of the public. Madam Clerk, has anyone registered to provide comments or pose questions in person or electronically?
Madam Mayor, I confirm that anyone has reached the office of the clerk to register or request to participate electronically in this public meeting.
Thank you. I will now invite members of the public to line up in the center aisle. You will each have the opportunity to provide your comments and questions. You may only speak once, and please state your name and address for the clerk.
Danny Sorrelson, 93 4th Street. And it's only one page this time, so everybody can have a break. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'd like to thank the Treasury Department for all the paperwork. The budget proposals were easy to follow. My first question is regarding bylaw enforcement. Is the bylaw enforcement revenue neutral? And if not, why? And we would like restraints taken off the bylaw officer to send her out so she can do her job in public. Question number 2, regarding public works, their new snowplow, which is in a loan or a lease, is that a tandem or single axle? And with the technology today, if the technology was purchased, do we need 2 people in the snowplow? Could save lots of dollars in overtime. Part 3, when the snowplow crews are called out at night and the OPP are not available to help in issuing tickets and having cars removed, is there a backup plan? My suggestion is in the bylaw that the CAO is allowed to have people appointed. Could you please appoint the 2 roads foremen to issue tickets and have the cars towed to make safer conditions for snowplow crews? And just for information for me, do they have to make 2 passes when they do a snow removal? Could be a cost saving. This one for Parks and Rec in the green zone. Could the fence at the Carter Street entrance to Rick's Trail be fixed? So when people walk the trail, they don't have to dodge quads or unlicensed motorbikes. Then part 2 of that, up beside the group home on Furlong, there's a large wooden post removed. If that was replaced, I would think that the quads and off-road bikes would not be chasing pedestrians off on the trail. And a bad one for me, the last one. With the asset management plan, and now that all the trucks and cars and machines in the town are supposed to be monitored for their mileage, is it the director's responsibility for any vehicle that has unreasonable mileage put on the vehicle per week or per month? I brought this up because during the work days, I've seen numerous trucks not where they're supposed to be, being used for personal, running errands, shopping, and going to banks. Okay, and the worst part of this one is the time killer is riding out Archer Drive to kill time, down 66, down Gummer Road to Allen Avenue, and back to the complex for physical services. In my old employment, somebody was caught doing this. This is time fraud. Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Saroshin. Anyone else?
Robert Adair, 31 Hudson. So, is anybody gonna be answering questions tonight?
Not this evening. All answers will be given at the next meeting and through our treasurer.
So, on page 5 of your report to council, the operating budget, there's a paragraph on fire services. It refers to accruals. What is the amount of the accruals? There's no amount.
Okay.
Can you explain what these accruals are from? And why were they not included in the 2023 budget?
Okay.
It goes on to say that there was a proposed increase of 25.6%. But because you're gonna use money from reserves, it's gonna go down to 7.7. Well, when you do the math, you're not using the 2023 actuals, you're using the 2023 budget. I don't know why that's being done. That's being dishonest with people. You're 7.7%. So it's $183,000 increase in the budget. But because you're using the budgeted, not the actuals, it's actually like 400,000. It's disappointing that none of you's caught this. We have a senior management team that lives out of town, a CAO that lives out of town. You guys have to be on top of all this stuff, because they won't care if the budget goes up. That, 400,000 is not a 7.7% increase. It's actually a 19% increase. Does the 2024 budget include the 2 additional firefighters you have agreed to hire and the temporary firefighter you recently hired? Like, is there a reason we have to wait? Because people know the answer to these.
So this is the procedure of open public meetings. So it was announced at the beginning how the procedure would run. So that is how we will proceed with this evening.
Out of the 400 plus municipalities, fire departments, is there another municipality or population that has 12 full-time firefighters? Is there another municipality our size that has 11? Is there another municipality our size that has 10? Alan issued a press release. What is the health and safety issue causing council to hire 2 additional full-time firefighters? The choice to hire these 2 additional firefighters, is this included in your recently unveiled 2024 corporate business plan? You don't have to answer that. I only answered no. Even though it's supposed to be a vision of the future, and it just came out. Instead of choosing to increase by 2, did you consider using the mutual aid plan? The mutual aid plan. Did you consider an automatic aid agreement? Did you consider allowing volunteer firefighters not to live in Kirkland Lake? Because you have full-time firefighters and a fire chief on call that don't live in Kirkland. So why would volunteer firefighters have to do?
Just a reminder, Bob, we're supposed to be addressing the 2024 budget.
But
So,
this increases your 2024 budget.
mhm.
Did you consider a change to working hours to increase the budget? Did you consult anyone before ratifying the contract? Did you, I'm assuming the health and safety is gonna be because there's no volunteers. So did you consider a letter of understanding to go back down if we achieve 30 volunteers? Is that in the contract? Did anybody ask for that to go in the contract? At the last meeting, I think you said roughly, you had 3, would be at 21. I can make 22, we're only 8 away. And we haven't had 30 volunteers for more than the 7 or 8 years that was said of the last one. You recently did a town survey. I think economic development came 3rd in the survey. So why are we choosing to get rid of that position in town? It's obviously important to the taxpayers. And on a side note to that, you eliminated the position, that budget only went down $10,000. Nobody asked for it, only 10. Health and safety, you eliminated that position.
So the H and S position was in 2023, but it was eliminated, not for 2024.
What's that, sir?
The H and S position, that was eliminated in 2023, not for budget 2024. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't decided to bring it back. We're gonna download that on people that already have 40 hours to work, like economic development. And in all honesty, that's what's wrong. We download stuff to people that already have 40 hours of work on their plate. They leave, then we have to hire people from out of town. Can you bring up the capital page?
Just comments in it.
Because it's hard to tell in the printout, but it looks like they have to rank the capital items, right? Was one most important? 2, 3, how did we go?
So you're asking a question about the ranking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it looks like all the 2s and 3s were the ones you took out. I like higher numbers. Which doesn't make sense to me. No, the one thing I'm thinking. Thank you.
Everything? Thank you so much.
My name is Mike Gaff. I live on 61 LaBelle. I have 2 brief statements and then I'm gonna ask 2 simple questions. The town of Temiskaming Shores, with a population of 9,300 people, has 3 people on the sunshine list. The town of Kirkland Lake, with a population of 7,500 people, has 28 people on the sunshine list. Now, my question is, how in all rationality and common sense can this be justified? And my second question is, of these 28 people on the sunshine list, how many of them live out of town, so they don't have to pay their fair share of the Kirkland Lake taxes? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I can't hear.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council, I don't envy you because, obviously when somebody sees a 9-point-something% increase in taxes, you're gonna get a lot of feedback. Lived here all my life. And.
Sorry, sir, can you?
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Mike Emo, 66 Bernhard Drive.
thank you.
And looking over the budget, there's two items that, really jump out. One's the Tech Pioneer residence and the other one, obviously, the fire department, which Rob spoke about. Has any thought been given to selling off TPR? It would bring money in to the community, we would get rid of some expenses, and they would be paying taxes. So that's a win-win situation. The other tough one is the fire department. Lister, Temiskaming Shores has a volunteer fire department. Rouyn-Noranda has a volunteer fire department. They got a population 3 or 4 times the size of Kirkland Lake. It's a tough question, and I know a lot of people are gonna be, well, you know, you can't get rid of the fire department. The fire department basically is there to basically save the neighbor's properties, because by the time the fire department gets there and they put water on your house that's on fire, there's nothing left of your house. Basically, it's there. I've been at a few fires in town here where I happened to be there once, the one in Kirkpatrick before the fire department got there. And there wasn't really much they could do to save that property. Then the volunteers all showed up and then they kept it under control. So whether we have a full-time fire department, which I believe there are 2 on staff, so there's gonna be somebody there to bring the fire truck to the fire and then the volunteers show up. So for a town of 8,000, can we afford a full-time fire department? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything further from members in the gallery? Thank you, everyone. We do appreciate your time. Thank you for your questions and a few suggestions. We definitely appreciate when members of the public engage. Yes, sir.
Another clarification?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, I just want to know, because some of us were trying to listen and not get a chance to write all these questions down. At some point, those questions will be written down, collated, and maybe we get a copy. Is that
Madam
okay?
Clerk?
Through you, Madam Mayor, to all of council. So as I said earlier in the meeting, all of the questions are going to be answered by the treasurer and be presented at the April 9th meeting. Until the minutes are presented on April 16th, the members of council and the members of public are welcome to look at the YouTube video that is recording live on live stream right now, to go and look at those questions until such time that the formal minutes are out.
Thank you. Item number 7, consideration of proposed bylaws. There are none this evening. Madam Clerk, please read the directions stemming from this public meeting.
Certainly, Madam Mayor. The council received the comments and questions from members of the public surrounding the 2024 budget, and that the treasurer provide responses directly to those individuals and prior to council deliberations during the special council meeting scheduled on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024.
This is the recommendation moving forward. An adjournment. This will now conclude the public meeting for the 2024 budget at 5:03. We'll move on to public meeting number 2, supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates. Good afternoon, everyone. I hereby call this second public meeting of the evening, Thursday, April 4th, regarding the supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates to order. Item number 2, declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations from members of council? None noted. Item number 3, summary reports. Item 3.1, supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates. Lloyd Crawford, treasurer.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor, to council and everybody in attendance. I just want to keep this short. This is in the report submitted last week, but I just want to clarify why we're increasing twice in the same year. So the process for the first increase was related to the capital replenishment reserves that we're trying to increase. This is related again to the asset management plan and the direction we got from the consultants and from the 10-year plan, and various reports that have been submitted before council. We're all aware of the state of our infrastructure, and that particular portion of the water rate increase is designed to help us address that problem. The second portion of the increase, and so the reason they're not together essentially is driven by the fact that we had some staffing, issues early in the year, so we weren't able to get the operating budget done in the same kind of time frame as the capital reserve portion of this. So the second portion is to kind of capture the increase in cost between materials and stuff like that. Once those two budgets, the operating portion of those budgets were submitted. So combined, water is 4.2 and wastewater 5. And like I said, the breakdown is in the reports, and that's essentially a summary of why the process kind of followed through. Next year, it's our goal to have it a one-time thing. We're going to have those two operating budgets done in enough time that we only come to council once for these particular rates. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 4, confirmation of notice. Madam Clerk, how was notice given?
Madam Mayor, a notice of the public meeting was given in accordance with the Town of Kirkland Lakes Notice Bylaw 2247 by publishing said notice on the town's website 15 days in advance as of March 19th, 2024. Supplemental notice was coordinated within the March 27th edition of the municipal update through the town's various social media streams and within daily local radio broadcasts.
Thank you. And item number 5, correspondence received. Madam Clerk, were there any correspondence received from members of the public surrounding the supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates?
Madam Chair, I confirm that there was no correspondence received by the clerk's office in relation to the supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates.
Thank you. Item number 6, comments and questions from members of the public. And again, I'm just going to remind all members of council that this is a public meeting and there is no debate or discussions with members of the public. Item number 7, comments and questions from members of the public. Has anyone registered to provide comments or questions in person or electronically, Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, I confirm no one has reached the clerk's office to register or request to participate electronically in this public meeting.
Thank you. I will now invite members of the public to line up in the center aisle again. You will each have the opportunity to provide your comments or questions, and you may only speak once. Please state your name and address for the clerk. No one will be speaking this evening? Okay, thank you. Item number 8, consideration of proposed bylaws. Madam Clerk, please read the directions stemming from this public meeting as there is no public proposed bylaws.
Okay. That the draft bylaw and corresponding schedule as amended establishing the supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates from the town of Kirkland Lake as presented be brought forward for 3 readings of the special meeting scheduled for Thursday, April 25th, 2024.
The recommendation moving forward, we'll now move on to adjournment. This concludes the public meeting for the supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates at 5:08. Moving on to public meeting number 3, 2024 user fees and charges. Call to order. Good afternoon again. I hereby call this 3rd and final public meeting of the evening, Thursday, April 4th, regarding the 2024 user fees and charges to order. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest from the table? No, noted. Item number 3, summary of reports. Item 3.1, 2024 user fees and charges. Jennifer Montoy, Municipal Clerk.
Good evening, everyone. For your information, all of the supporting documentation for this public meeting is available at the back. If you want a copy, please see the deputy clerk. As the March 19th, 2024 report that accompanied the proposed 2024 user fees and charges is quite explanatory in terms of the rationale. We'll keep this summary at a very the town senior management team and staff have thoroughly analyzed their respective user fees and services for the town of Kirkland Lake vis-a-vis the budget this year. Based on the data collected from this year's budget survey, most respondents noted that they would be amenable to the town introducing new fees or increases to user fees or charges to balance the budget and take the pressure off the tax levy. As such, the 4 bylaws attached to this evening's public meeting agenda and the schedules for those respective user fees and charges that were presented as attachments to the March 19th report continue to be proposed at this time. Administration is recommending a post-effective date of July 1st for the enactment of all changes, additions to user fees and charges. Administration is also proposing that further to this evening's public meeting, that a second opportunity for council to discuss and deliberate on the 2024 user fees and charges takes place at the regular meeting of council scheduled for April 16th. Direction stemming from that meeting could potentially see the bylaws being presented for 3 readings at the special meeting of council scheduled for Thursday, April 25th, 2024, alongside the approval of the 2024 budget supplemental 2024 water and wastewater rates.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Confirmation of notice, Madam Clerk, how was notice given?
Notice of the public meeting was given in accordance with the Town of Kirkland Lakes Notice Bylaw 2022-47 by publishing said notice on the town's website 14 days in advance as of March 19th, 2024. Supplemental notice was coordinated within March 27th edition of the municipal update through the town's various social media streams and within daily local radio broadcast. Said it again, broadcasts.
Yep, thanks. Item number 5, correspondence received. Madam Clerk, was there any correspondence received prior to this meeting?
I confirm, Madam Mayor, there was no correspondence received by the office of the clerk.
Thank you. Item number 6, comments, questions from members of the public. Again, I will remind members of the table, this is a public meeting and there is no debate or talking with the members of the public during the public meeting. Item number 7, comments and questions from members of the public. Madam Clerk, was there anyone registered prior?
Mayor, I confirm nobody registered over putting priority to participate electronically for this meeting.
Thank you. If members of the public wish to ask questions, you may line up in the center aisle. Please provide your name and address to the clerk. So noted, no one wishes to speak. Thank you. Item number 8, consideration of proposed bylaws. There are no actual bylaws this evening. Madam Clerk.
The proposed recommendation for this evening is that council receive the comments and questions from members of the public and that the draft bylaws and corresponding schedules establishing the 2024 user fees and charges for the town of Kirkland Lake be presented for further discussion and deliberation at the April 16th, 2024 regular meeting of council.
Thank you. That is the recommendation moving forward. I'll move on to adjournment. This concludes the public meeting for the 2024 user fees and charges at 5:13. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening.